So in this particular lecture, let's start by styling up this registration form. So in order to style this thing up, we'll go back to VS Code, and here we'll go to the file which is register.html. So here is where our register.html file is. So currently we are simply rendering up the form elements right here. And we want to style it similar to how we have actually styled this login.html. So this is styled using Tailwind, and we need to do the exact same thing over there as well. So I'll give you a simple trick which you could use while styling up your own web pages. So whenever you're designing any kind of app, first of all, you'll have the basic form structure in order to go ahead and test if that form works. Now, once you know that this particular form works, you could simply go ahead, take any other form which you have already styled. You could copy all the styling from there, and then you simply have to go ahead and paste it up over here at the top. So here, as you can see, I've pasted all the code here. But now what happens is this already is extending from the base template, and it already has a block body and end block. So you have to go ahead and take the elements which you have here and replace these elements up over here. So first of all, as we are already extending from the base template, we should get rid of this line. As we are already having a block body tag, you should also get rid of this as well, and you should already get rid of end block as well. And then next step is to go ahead, go right before the end block tag and take your older form, cut it and paste it up over here. Now there's a specific reason why we do that, and that's because when you place this form inside the end block, this form would be rendered as well. So now if I go to register, you'll be able to see that, okay, now not just this form is being rendered, but even we have this form being rendered as well. And the reason why we actually need this is because we now need to get the names of these particular fields which we have. So first of all, I'll go ahead, right click over here. If I inspect this particular field, I will be able to see that the name of this particular field is email. So that means if I have to render this particular field up over here in place of username, I simply have to go back, and here instead of saying form.username, I have to say form.email. And also you'll be able to notice here that the form which we have is actually called as user form and not just form. So here I have to replace this with user_form. And as soon as I do that, and if I hit refresh, you'll be able to see that when I inspect this field now, you'll be able to see that the type of this thing is email, name is email, and this now becomes an email field. So we simply now have to change the label of this thing. So I would type in email, and there we have it. We have replicated one of the fields which we have here. Now let's say I need to find out what this username field is called. So I could inspect this. Here I'll be able to see that it's actually called as username. So I'll simply replace that particular field with username. So let's go back. So here I would say username. Let's replace this with form or user_form.username. So I'll copy this, paste it up over here, and replace email with username. Okay, so once that thing is done, let's also get the other fields as well. So the other fields which we now have over here are first name, password, confirm password, and register. So for first name, if I inspect this, it says it's called as first_name. So I simply now have to go ahead, take a particular field like this along with the label, paste it up over here, change this thing to first name. Let's also change this thing to user form dot first_name, because that's actually the name of our field. Let's check what this password field is called. It's simply called as password. The second password field is actually called as password2. So let's add those fields as well. So I'll again go back, copy the fields which we have here, paste it up over here and over here, change the name of the first one to password, second one I would say confirm password. The first field is going to be changed to something like, let's say, password, and this is called as password2. Okay, so once this thing is done, we are pretty much good to go. Then we have this register button. So let's scroll down. Let's change this thing to register. Okay, so once we have this, if I hit refresh, now as you can see, we are actually able to go ahead and get these fields. And you'll also be able to notice that the form is not styled properly, because when we actually go ahead and click on a particular form field, there's a blue border which we get here. So we are going to resolve that issue very soon. But for now, as you can see, the registration form is pretty much ready, and we have to actually change the heading over here because currently it says login form. So let's quickly change that as well. So I would say register user. And finally, once we are done with this form, which is this form right here, I could go ahead and get rid of it. Now, if I head back, I should be able to have this register user form here, wherein I could go ahead and register a user. So if you want to test this particular form, you could fill up certain details and click on register and see if that actually works. And if it does not work, you simply have to go ahead and see what particular form field names have you set up incorrectly. So once we have this particular registration form set up, in the next lecture, let's actually go ahead and let's set up the styling for the index page which we have. So currently the index page is pretty dull and boring, and we do not get anything out of it. So from the next lecture onwards, we are going to style this thing up in a proper manner. So let's go ahead and do that in the next one.